Exploring Life. Chapter 19, Fungi and Invertebrates. Part 1. Fungi make up a remarkably diverse group. Some estimates suggest there may be as many as 1.5 million species. The evolutionary history of fungi starts with their divergence from a common ancestor shared with animals, an aquatic, flagellated organism. From that shared lineage, fungi branched into several major groups: Basidiomycota, Zygomycota, and Ascomycota. Fungi vary greatly in appearance. Some fungi are unicellular and microscopic, like yeast from the phylum Ascomycota. Others are multicellular fungi, such as mushrooms from the phylum Basidiomycota. The largest known living organism on Earth is actually a fungus, Armillaria solidipes, a honey mushroom that spreads underground across more than 2,000 acres. To truly grasp its scale, you'd need to be in a plane to see its full extent. The most familiar encounters with fungi are probably mushrooms and molds. The mushroom is actually a reproductive structure, also known as a fruiting body. Many species are edible, like those within the Boletus genus, shown on the left. Others, like the coral fungus Ramaria, seen in the center, develop brightly colored and elaborately branched fruiting bodies, making them stand out on the forest floor. This electron micrograph, on the right, shows the spore-bearing structures of Aspergillus, a type of microscopic fungus commonly found in soil and on plants. Some Aspergillus species can be harmful, producing toxins that affect both plants and animals. This is precisely why we do not eat molded food. Fungi are eukaryotes, just like plants and animals. They have cell walls similar to plants, but uniquely, fungal cell walls are made of chitin, a tough polysaccharide also found in the exoskeletons of insects and other arthropods. The way fungi are structured and how they reproduce is quite distinct from both animals and plants. The main body of multicellular fungi is called the mycelium, a vast network of filaments that grows through and feeds on its substrate. These individual filaments are known as hyphae, long, thread-like structures specifically designed for absorbing nutrients. When it's time to reproduce, fungi develop fruiting bodies. These are specialized structures, like mushrooms, that produce and release spores into the environment. Fungi feed through a process called osmotrophy, a strategy quite different from animals or plants. They release digestive enzymes, known as exoenzymes, directly from their hyphae into the surrounding environment. These enzymes break down complex organic materials externally. Once the material is broken down, the hyphae absorb the resulting nutrients, essentially digesting food outside the body before taking it in. This method of external digestion allows fungi to thrive on decaying matter, making them powerful decomposers in ecosystems. The dominant stage of fungi life cycle is haploid. Fungi can reproduce asexually, which allows them to spread quickly and efficiently. In this process, a haploid mycelium produces haploid spores, tiny, resistant reproductive units. Once released, these spores germinate and grow directly into new haploid mycelia, genetically identical to the parent. Asexual reproduction is common in many fungi and plays a major role in their rapid colonization of environments. Fungi also reproduce sexually, but not in the way animals or plants do. Instead of male and female sexes, fungi have different mating types. When compatible types meet, their hyphae fuse, starting the heterokaryotic stage, where cells contain two genetically distinct nuclei. This stage can last for days, months, or even years. During this period, fruiting bodies, like mushrooms, form. These structures remain haploid until final nuclear fusion occurs, eventually leading to spore production. Fertilization takes place inside the fruiting body, where the two haploid nuclei finally fuse, forming a diploid, 2N, zygote. Almost immediately, meiosis follows, producing haploid spores that are then released into the environment. Once dispersed, these spores germinate and grow into new haploid mycelia, continuing the fungal life cycle. This cycle of fusion, meiosis, and spore release is what allows fungi to spread, adapt, and thrive in diverse environments. Fungi play a vital role in ecosystems. As decomposers, they break down dead organic matter, recycling nutrients and helping maintain soil health, especially in forest environments. They also form essential mutualistic relationships. One of the most important is with plant roots, through structures called mycorrhizae. In this symbiosis, the fungi help plants absorb water and key nutrients from the soil, in exchange for sugars the plants produce through photosynthesis. Remarkably, around 80% of all plant species rely on fungal partners like these. Though often overlooked, this partnership is absolutely critical for the health and stability of nearly every terrestrial ecosystem. It's difficult to categorize lichens neatly, primarily because they don't actually belong to a single kingdom. However, we are including them here as a prime example of the diverse ways fungi exist in the world. Lichens are, in fact, a remarkable symbiotic relationship between a fungus and a photosynthetic partner, which can be either algae or cyanobacteria. In this unique collaboration, the fungus provides the structure and protection, while the algae or cyanobacteria produce carbohydrates through photosynthesis, essentially feeding the entire partnership. This collaboration allows lichens to thrive in some of the harshest environments on Earth, from bare rock to Arctic tundra, where few other organisms can survive. This schematic illustrates a cross-section of a foliose lichen, showing the layers that make up this unique symbiotic organism. At the top, a dense protective fungal layer shields the organism from environmental stress. Beneath that lies a photosynthetic layer, where algae or cyanobacteria reside and produce sugars. Below that, a looser fungal layer provides structure and anchors the lichen to the surface. Together, these layers form a tough, self-sustaining unit able to survive where few others can. This image shows multiple species of lichens growing on both a tree and a rock. Their widespread presence isn't just a sign of resilience in harsh environments, it's also a reliable indicator of clean air. Lichens are highly sensitive to pollution and tend to disappear from polluted areas, making them excellent bioindicators of environmental health. Regular fungi are also valuable environmental indicators for both soil and air quality, though their sensitivity varies depending on the species and the type of pollutant. Their impact on human life goes far beyond the mushrooms we eat. In industry, fungi are essential to the production of beer, cheese, and bread, thanks to their role in fermentation and flavor development. Medically, fungi have saved countless lives. Penicillium notatum gave us penicillin, the first widely used antibiotic. And Taxomyces andreani, a fungus associated with the yew tree, produces Taxol, a major cancer-fighting drug. These unassuming organisms quietly play a powerful role in nearly every aspect of our daily lives. Our attention is now finally turning to the kingdom of animals. Animals are multicellular, eukaryotic organisms that must consume food to obtain energy. Unlike plants or fungi, they can't make or absorb nutrients passively. They're equipped with specialized sensory organs that help them perceive and respond to their environment. And animals are known for their ability to move, whether it's swimming, flying, crawling, or walking. Movement is a defining feature of the animal kingdom. Animals are divided into two broad groups: vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates include familiar animals like fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals, including us. They share several key features: a backbone, bilateral symmetry, a coelom or body cavity, body segmentation, specialized organs, a complete digestive system, and a vascular system with a heart. Most also have specialized respiratory organs like gills or lungs. Invertebrates, on the other hand, lack a backbone. But that doesn't mean they're simple. Many invertebrates also have complex structures, including segmented bodies, nervous systems, and specialized organs. Invertebrates play crucial roles in ecosystems, from pollination and decomposition to forming the very foundation of many food webs. In fact, invertebrates don't just support themselves, they're absolutely essential for the survival of vertebrates, too. These incredible creatures truly dominate the animal kingdom, making up about 97% of all known animal species. There are around 35 phyla of animal life composed entirely of invertebrates. Vertebrates, on the other hand, are a subgroup within the phylum Chordata, which itself also contains several invertebrate species. Each of the invertebrate phyla comes in an incredible variety of forms and adaptations. While there are many, we'll focus on just a few key groups. First, we'll look at sponges and cnidarians, primitive invertebrates that represent early steps in animal evolution. Then we'll explore flatworms and roundworms, simple bilateral invertebrates that include both free-living and parasitic species. Next, we'll examine mollusks and annelids, soft-bodied invertebrates that show increased complexity in structure and movement. Then arthropods and echinoderms. Arthropods have jointed legs and segmented bodies, while echinoderms, like sea stars, display radial symmetry and a unique water vascular system. And finally, we will introduce chordates, a diverse group that includes both invertebrates and vertebrates. Together, these groups showcase the incredible diversity and adaptability of invertebrate life, and the key evolutionary steps that paved the way for the emergence of vertebrates. This tree of life represents the potential evolutionary relationships among the animal groups. It illustrates how all animal lineages diverged from a common ancestor and highlights the major evolutionary branches that led to the incredible diversity we see today. It's worth noting that there are many versions of this phylogenetic diagram. Scientists are continuously working to update and refine it, so the presented option is best viewed as an illustration of ongoing scientific endeavor. This table highlights key characteristics of major invertebrate phyla, offering a quick comparison across body structure, symmetry, segmentation, and other traits. For example, sponges have no true tissues or symmetry, while cnidarians display radial symmetry and possess specialized tissues. This table helps visualize how body complexity and specialization have evolved across the invertebrate lineage. And these are some creatures that didn't make it into our main table or tree of life, but absolutely deserve a special mention before we dive deeper. Tardigrades, also known as water bears. These are microscopic invertebrates from the phylum Tardigrada. Despite their tiny size, these segmented creatures are among the toughest life forms on Earth. They're found everywhere, in mosses, lichens, freshwater, and marine environments. But what truly sets them apart is their astonishing ability to survive the unthinkable. Tardigrades can enter cryptobiosis, a suspended animation-like state that lets them endure extreme temperatures, incredibly high pressures, intense radiation, complete dehydration, and even the vacuum of space. These adaptation champions show just how resilient life can be, even on the smallest scale. You might even remember we talked about them briefly in our Origin of Life chapter. Sponges, from phylum Porifera, are among the simplest multicellular animals. A small step up in complexity are the cnidarians, a group that includes jellyfish, sea anemones, and corals. Both groups lack true organs and represent some of the earliest forms of multicellular animal life. Sponges, members of phylum Porifera, are some of the simplest animals on Earth. They lack true tissues and body symmetry, and while adults remain anchored in place, their larvae are motile and can swim. Sponges filter water using specialized cells that generate a current, drawing in oxygen and food particles, then expelling waste. This makes them important players in marine ecosystems, where they filter water, recycle nutrients, and provide shelter for other organisms. These are examples of sponges. On the left is a living giant barrel sponge anchored on a coral reef. These massive filter feeders play an important ecological role, cycling nutrients and housing other marine life. On the right is the dried sheep wool sponge, the most common sponge in the Mediterranean. It's been used for centuries in cosmetics and daily life as a natural bath sponge. Cnidarians, like jellyfish, corals, and sea anemones, belong to phylum Cnidaria and have a relatively simple body plan. They're diploblastic, meaning their bodies are made up of two main cell layers, separated by a jelly-like middle layer. They have a nerve net, a decentralized system that allows them to respond to stimuli without a brain. Their gastrovascular cavity acts as both a stomach and a circulatory system, handling digestion and nutrient distribution in one space. Here we see representatives of phylum Cnidaria. On the left, a long tentacle anemone anchors itself in the sand. In the center, a variety of coral species form vibrant reef structures. And on the right, a moon jellyfish drifts gently through the water, showcasing the graceful movement characteristic of many cnidarians. Let's take a closer look at jellyfish. These animals have radial symmetry, meaning their body is organized around a central axis. This allows them to sense and respond to their environment from all directions. To protect themselves, some jellyfish have evolved powerful adaptations. Many produce toxins to stun prey and deter predators, and some can even glow using bioluminescence, which can startle threats or attract food. Jellyfish can reproduce in two ways: sexually, using eggs and sperm, or asexually, through a process called budding. One remarkable species, Turritopsis dohrnii, is often called the immortal jellyfish. It has the unique ability to revert to an earlier stage of development, essentially resetting its life cycle. While not truly immortal, this unique ability makes it one of the few known animals capable of biological rejuvenation. What you're seeing here is the life cycle of a jellyfish, which alternates between two distinct stages, the medusa and the polyp. The cycle begins with the medusa, the familiar, free-swimming jellyfish form. During this stage, jellyfish reproduce sexually, releasing eggs and sperm into the water. The fertilized egg develops into a larva, which swims briefly before settling onto a surface, transforming into a polyp, a small, stalk-like structure. In the polyp stage, jellyfish reproduce asexually through budding, releasing tiny, free-swimming medusae that grow into adults, completing the cycle. This combination of sexual and asexual reproduction helps jellyfish thrive in a wide range of marine environments. Corals and sea anemones are also important members of the cnidarian family. Coral reefs are among the most valuable ecosystems on Earth. They provide shelter and breeding grounds for countless marine species, help prevent coastal erosion, and support extraordinary levels of biodiversity. Their ecosystem significance extends beyond biology. They also contribute to local economies and tourism, especially in coastal communities. Sea anemones may not build reefs, but they play a key role in marine food webs. They serve as food sources for some organisms and offer protection or partnerships for others, like clownfish. Together, corals and anemones help maintain the health and balance of marine ecosystems. In the second part of the lecture, we'll explore more advanced invertebrates, animals with greater complexity in body structure and function. These include mollusks, annelids, arthropods, and echinoderms.